Hi, this is Dr. Don Bonner of Personalized Wellness. Today I want to do this second video in this series that I'm doing on belly fat. And today I want to talk about how to reverse belly fat. In the last video we talked about how belly fat is formed, and we really talked about hormones. The main hormone obviously is insulin that we need to control. The other hormone that I didn't really touch on that last video was cortisol. I'll talk about that just a little bit today. You have to get your cortisol levels under control also, along with insulin, to be able to start to get rid of this dangerous belly fat that we all want gone, right? Okay, so the first thing that I talk about is diet nutrition. So we talked about insulin and how insulin, causes belly fat. So the first thing I do with my patients, I put them on a low carbohydrate diet. And when I say low carbohydrate diet, I typically start patients at around 50 grams of carbs per day, or a little bit less if they can handle it. That's the very first thing that I do as far as my program. The second thing that I do is institute different fasting protocols. By far the easiest fasting protocol is intermittent fasting. So we'll typically start with that. I'll have my patients skip breakfast, eat lunch, no snacks, and then eat dinner. Essentially what that is doing is compressing your eating window to a very small period of time, and then effectively you're fasting for anywhere to 16 to 18 hours. That helps to cause insulin levels to be very, very low. And that's really the key. We get these insulin levels very low by our diet and by the fasting protocols, and then we become more insulin sensitive. We're able to start then be able to access our fat stores. So that's very, very important. So that's step one. And step two, I just went over the fasting protocols. Intermittent fasting is the first thing that I do, but then I will institute other types of fast. I'll institute a fasting mimicking diet. I'll institute complete fasting days during the week. It just depends on the patient and how they respond to the program. Next, we need to really talk about stress and stress reduction. That's where cortisol comes into play. A lot of my patients, I'll have them go ahead and do a 4-point cortisol test, which is a salivary test, so we can see what their cortisol levels are doing. If their cortisol levels are high, we definitely have to institute stress reduction techniques, yoga, meditation, those types of things. Exercise helps, as long as it's not too aggressive as far as the exercise. The other thing I can do is provide some supplements that will help with those cortisol levels and help to dampen them to a degree. Next, sleep. Sleep is huge, folks. If you're not getting enough sleep, it's going to be almost impossible for you to lose weight and to lose this belly fat. I can't stress enough how important sleep is, and it's a very integral part of what I do here in the clinic, and I talk to every patient about sleep. Finally, really the last component, may not be the last thing that we do, but a component that is definitely integral to losing weight and building muscle mass, is balancing all of your hormone levels. And when I say hormone levels, I mean thyroid hormone, I mean your sex hormones. All of these have to be balanced. And we test thoroughly on your first appointment when you come to see me, and we do a consult. I figure out, what your thyroid levels are, whether or not we need to treat, whether we just need to do supplementation with zinc and selenium and iodine and those sorts of things, or and then we also look at your sex hormones. So for men, testosterone, and for women, testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. So we have to balance all of those hormones, because especially when it comes to women, if they're out of balance, say they have too much estrogen, they're estrogen dominant, that can cause them to retain fluid and cause an increase in this belly fat. So we really have to balance it, and you really have to know what you're doing with these hormones. And it's not just a shotgun approach. We test, we know what our levels are, we treat, and then after we treat, we test again, so we know exactly where we're at. So that's pretty much the fundamentals of losing belly fat. Again, I can't stress enough how important it is to get control of this belly fat and to decrease it, because belly fat and visceral adiposity is extremely dangerous. And it's a huge job that I have here at the clinic with my patients to reverse these things. So give us a call at the clinic, 601-898-0911. We'd be happy to see you, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.